What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Motorfest. So in this video I will be basically focusing fully on the main stage and how exactly this does work and how like to level each one, and then of course how to level the main one right here. So first things first, guys, this is indeed going to last an entire month. So October 4th to November 1st will be this entire one, and then of course the next one is going to start after that, and this one's obviously going to be fully based on Japanese bikes. So for the first one here though, guys, revisit playlist experience. So for this you will have to use a Japanese bike in order to get any experience on this one. So if you do a lot of races, let's say in like a random Mazda, you are not going to get any XP toward this. But a quick way though is if you did want to do some events in this and you were kind of confused how to, all you will have to do is head here and or hit X on this, and it will of course bring you into the main map here, and you can obviously follow this to a set event. That is of course going to build some XP for you, but keep in mind though, guys, you don't have to do it this way either if you don't want to. Like, you don't have to necessarily follow those set events and or follow like the thing Kara is giving you, and I would probably say that's going to be a good thing. But the easiest way I found to do this though, guys, and by the way, you can do this on any event in the game as long as you're using a Japanese bike, which by the way will be up here. All of these bikes are not only going to have an XP boost, they are also going to be available for you to build the actual main stage thing all the way up. So do keep that in mind. You don't have to necessarily use like a racing bike and or like a motocross bike to get this finished. Now, what's also insanely cool about this is, yes, you can do any event of your liking, as long as you are using one of the Japanese bikes that's obviously in like the vehicle category here, aka something with like an XP boost on it. But for this, guys, you can simply head over to any event, and as long as you have the event settings on main stage, you will always get XP toward this objective. Do keep in mind, by the way, guys, you can also use different classes. For example, I am trying to get like a chemist set on the Rally Raid, so I would most likely use the Kawasaki bike for that. But at the same time, though, you not only get parts, you would not only get XP in this leveling tree for the main stage, but you would also get parts to finish up some classes. But for the compete one though, guys, all you will have to do is to jump into a summit contest and or like one of the grand races to get XP toward this, and you can also do like a demolition royale. But do keep in mind this is most likely going to take some time to do. So doing some of these skills, for example in the summit, I was getting around maybe 1500 XP driving a Ducati. So now, a few things I do want to mention here, just in case some might have been getting confused. So, if you guys are looking at this, yes, it does say a Japanese bike is a 10% XP gain, but you don't actually have to use a Japanese bike if you don't want to. So, yes, using a Japanese bike would indeed get you more XP in that said event and or like that timeline, but it's not actually going to matter completely in these two, guys, if you do want to run a different vehicle. And I would probably say, guys, for the summit contest and or like a grand race is by far going to be the best way to level the compete timeline, and that's going to come down to the fact that this thing goes to 150,000 XP per level, so you might be here a little while doing that. And testing this out, I did a skill in a summit. Driving a Ducati, I got around 1500 XP for one of the skills, so it definitely might take some time to do, and using something like a Japanese bike might get you there a bit quicker. Now, if you guys are looking for like the fastest way to max out the compete timeline, I would say the best two ways to do this is, well, going to be the summit contest and or like farming the events in it, and or using like a Japanese bike in those said summit contest events, and obviously doing like the skills and stuff like that will help. But regardless though, doing this is obviously going to take some time. Now, if you're looking for the fastest way, I would probably say a Japanese bike in a grand race is probably the best way to get a lot of XP. And then moving over to the final one here, guys, is going to be the Explore timeline. So this is basically going to be in the name here of how to get XP quick. Now, if you guys do want to, again, you can use a Japanese bike for some extra XP, but you don't have to use one if you don't want to. So Now to get XP in the Explore timeline, guys, all you will have to do is to basically do like a slalom, maybe a speed trap and or like a buoy smash, and you can also do some of the photo ops, which will get you a bit more of XP, but one of the easiest ways I found to do this though is to grab the live reward crate. They give you anywhere from maybe like 4 to 10,000 per crate, but if you do fly around in a plane and basically find a lot of them, you will most likely get this maxed out insanely quick. Now, I do want to mention, by the way, guys, similar to the revisit timeline, my goodness, dude, that is not a legal turn, bruh. Really? Let me, just get out of your way there, buddy. Go ahead. Go ahead, move along. Now, I did want to mention this, by the way, guys, you don't have to use Kara for this either, so you can spawn to basically any of these slaloms around the map, and or like a speed trap, and or basically a skill of your choice, and if you guys are using a Japanese bike, you will actually get a 10% XP boost to max out this timeline a bit faster. Using something like a Kawasaki, Suzuki, and or even like a Honda is going to get you a 10% XP boost on all three of these objectives here, guys, so you don't have to use a Japanese bike on the compete against drivers and or the explore island secrets, but it is obviously going to help you at least a bit more getting a 10% XP boost. Now, I also do want to show this, guys, in order to get the actual timeline unlocked, you will have to complete the revisit compete or the explore timeline to unlock it, so all you guys will have to do is to basically complete one of these fully all the way through to unlock the main legend unlock here. That way you can actually start going toward that crazy looking Lancer. Now, do keep in mind though, once you guys do max out all three of these though, every piece of XP you get from like grabbing things from like a explorer and or doing like a summit and or jumping into like a grand race or even jumping into like a playlist, all of that XP is going to go toward your main legend unlock to get you to level 100 faster. Now that is basically going to do it for the main stage here, guys. I have to admit, I really do like the way they did design this, but I can definitely see how in some areas this is going to be slightly confusing. So running through this real fast here, if you guys were wondering. So for the first one, revisit playlist experience, you have to use a Japanese bike in those in order to get XP toward that, but I wouldn't say that's going to be insanely difficult to do, and you can obviously take your time because you do have an entire month in order to max all of these out. But if I had to guess, most players are probably going to XP hunt and or get these done quick, which I would honestly recommend doing that. Now, for the compete against other drivers, guys, I would say this one isn't difficult, but more of like a time consuming thing. So once again, jump into like a grand race and or like a summit contest, and that way you will get XP toward this. And of course, guys, using a Japanese bike on all of these is going to give you a slight boost, but it really isn't going to be like game breaking. It's just 10%, and I would say that's going to be helpful. But for the explore the island secrets though, all you guys will have to do is like a skill around the map. You can also do like photo ops and stuff like that as well, and I do also think you can turn in challenges for this, but I would guess by now many people most likely already have maxed out challenges and or not that many left, so that's probably not going to be insanely helpful. But who knows, guys, maybe we might see like a daily type of challenges in the future, which I think would be awesome. But I would definitely recommend, guys, grabbing a crate to get this one done. So any color for that matter is going to get you a lot of XP, and all you really have to do is fly around and grab every single crate that you see. And then of course, guys, the last part here is going to be the main legend timeline. So once you actually get one of these three timelines fully completed, you will then have access to the actual timeline. And if you are wondering, that level 3 Mitsubishi is an awesome car, by the way, so I would definitely recommend going after it. I would also guess many people most likely do not have that car, so I would recommend that, guys. Now, one more thing I do want to mention. A lot of people have been wondering about the legend points in this game, so after that last main stage, guys, I got around 136, mainly because I had 136 levels, so I would definitely recommend getting a lot of the timelines done. I would recommend maxing out the timelines that much faster, that way you can get all of the XP toward your actual level, and of course climb insanely high, that way you can get more of these legend points. But overall though, guys, I would say I really do like the way the main stage does work. Sure, it's going to be slightly confusing, but overall I really do like the way they actually took a different approach to this, and it almost gives you like a different type of thing to do in a game instead of like leveling up a motor pass. So I really do like the way they actually made this a bit different, and I think everyone will agree that, well, a motor pass is most likely not going to be the thing they should have done in Motorfest. But if you guys have any questions at all regarding the main stage, definitely let me know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insight.